I'm Tim Simpson and I'm the creative director of Plunge Creations.
We make the strange and unusual for the entertainment industry.
We've been sculpting the BigHeads for ITV's new game show, BigHeads. It's been a complicated process of figuring out how we get from this two-dimensional caricature, which, they're fantastic drawings that we've been receiving, and how you get from that through to the final piece. We start with a polystyrene block and we set in a set of eyes for reference. And then we start laying on clay and building it up until we get the closest likeness we can. So each stage we've been feeding back to the production team and feeding back to the artist so that he can then put in a bit and say, actually I think Taylor Swift wants to look a bit different here, or maybe we need to change the hair on Elvis. And that way we're getting to as close a caricature as we possibly can. We've had a team of sculptors here working in about 1.5 tons of clay to make a series of 30 heads of various celebrities, figures from history.
From the clay sculpt, we take a mould in plaster to create a negative. We leave that to dry, crack it open, and then the mask makers begin.
When they come out of mould, that's the time that I get them. And then we push this heat mouldable plastic into the mould to make a lightweight, durable, flexible copy of the original sculpt.
That then becomes the positive of our head, which we then fit our eye mechanism into. Each one's got a little wiggly eye mechanism, which has got springs and balances and weights inside it. Then you've got to work out how you're going to fit a human head inside. They've got to be able to see out through the mouth, just about. All the way through the process, we've had to bear in mind that these have got to be safe.
It's going to be a bonkers show, kind of halfway between Spitting Image and It's a Knockout, with people sort of crashing around and running around.
The next stage of the process is to put the skin on, and we use a flexible fleecy fabric with contact adhesive, and we go over all of the contours to make it as close to the sculpt as possible. So now we cover it in latex paint, which is flexible and durable, and then we can hand it over to the art workers.
So I tend to start with the lips and get them down, block them in with paint. And then I start in with the airbrush. I mix everything from the primary colours and whites. I tend to sort of go in with a bright colour and then bring it back down to sort of reality.
We've been putting a fake fur base on and then working hair extensions in strips.
They do the plaits because it's plastic hair, it gets really tangled up very quickly. We've been doing quite a lot more hairdressing than we planned. And we've got a hairdresser that comes in and does some actual cutting of the hair.
Then they go into lacquering and the hair all gets fixed in place, and then a finishing haircut.
Hair, I think we've used about 2.5 kilometres of hair all told. That is strand by strand.
The next stage of the process then is flocking. With flocking, we throw electrically charged particles of hair at a surface covered in glue. They all sort of stand on end and you end up with a shaved head effect, which is good for eyebrows and sideburns and beards.
We've had a team of 20 people working on this for about 9-10 weeks. A total of about 6,000 hours work on these heads. And they've come together and they do look extraordinary. It's been a real team effort. It's been a lot of fun and we're really proud of the result.